Hello everyone, hope you're having a great day. Today we're going to explore a quiet but emotional turning point between Toan and Tu Diem. When a cold evening, a simple jacket, and an unspoken decision begin to change everything between them, even as memory and pride stand in the way. If you enjoy this story, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the next chapters. Thank you so much for watching. The morning starts early. Soft sunlight filters through the leaves and falls across the small yard in front of the old wooden house. The air is quiet. You can hear birds and a light breeze. Tu Diem stands on the porch and calls Mr. Khan to arrange a sand delivery. Her voice is calm, clear, and direct. She is used to handling things herself, one task at a time. After the call, she steps inside. The elderly woman and Mr. Thu are already there. They look at her for a moment, not with curiosity, but with care. That look makes her pause. She feels that she is not just a guest. The elderly woman speaks first. Her voice is slow and warm. She says that going back and forth every day is tiring. The distance is long. It is not convenient. Toan needs someone close to take care of him so his memory can recover gradually. She speaks directly without softening the point. Mr. Thu continues. He talks about the small house on the Longan Hill. He built it before to rent out, but it is empty now. The concrete road is done. Electricity and water are ready. If Tu Diem and Toan move there, it will be much easier. It is close to her work and easier to arrange medical visits for Toan. Tu Diem listens without answering right away. Inside her, two feelings exist at the same time: gratitude and worry. She knows this is genuine kindness. No one is saying these things for show. But she also thinks about Toan, and about the old woman who saved him when he had no memory and nowhere to go. She is afraid Toan will not want to leave. The elderly woman sees this. She does not push. She only says that staying close to familiar people can help recovery. She does not promise results. She talks about possibility. Mr. Thu nods. He says he sees Tu Diem as a younger sister. There is no need to hesitate. The house is not a temporary favor. It is a proper place to live. Tu Diem lowers her head and thanks them. Her voice shakes slightly. She says she will try to talk to Toan. She does not promise anything more than that. The morning air feels heavier. Sunlight still comes through the window, but the room feels quiet and tense. Dust floats in the light. No one adds more words. Everyone is thinking. Outside, a light wind moves across the Longan Hill. The smell of wet soil and leaves is fresh. Tu Diem stands alone and takes a deep breath. She hopes Toan will understand, not for convenience, but for recovery. Mr. Thu comes out and stands in front of her. His voice is low and steady. He says Toan's memory is still unstable. Sometimes a small detail returns, but then a strong headache follows. Old memories appear briefly and disappear. He advises her not to force him. Time still matters most. He repeats the details about the house. Everything is ready. The location is convenient, close to her work, close to the place where she worked before. All decisions are made for practical reasons. Tu Diem listens. She says she is grateful. Being treated like family makes her feel safe. But she is still worried. She worries Toan will feel indebted. Mr. Thu puts a hand on her shoulder. A simple, firm gesture. He tells her to speak freely. She is family now. At that moment, Tu Diem realizes she is not alone anymore. Sunlight passes through the Longan leaves and lights her face. Her eyes show hope and regret at the same time. She nods. She knows the next steps will not be easy, but she will try. At noon in the cornfield, sunlight passes through tall leaves and falls onto the ground. Tu Diem and Toan walk side by side, each holds a knife. The work is clear: cut, peel, gather. Toan works slowly but carefully. He asks how to choose full corn cobs. She shows him simply. He follows. They talk casually. She jokes that corn will sell better because of him. He laughs, a short, honest laugh. He says being with her makes time pass faster. She says she does not feel tired when he is there. She means it. They continue working. Their shoulders are close. No one brings up the morning conversation, but the distance between them feels smaller. Toan looks at her longer. His eyes are softer. The wind moves through the field. The smell of fresh corn is strong. They fill the baskets and walk on together. In the afternoon, light rain falls at the local market. The temporary roof gets wet. Customers come and go. Tu Diem weighs the corn quickly. She smiles when customers praise the quality. Toan sits next to her and helps tie the bags. He speaks only when needed. They sell everything. Rain continues. They sit close under the roof. The air is cold but manageable. Tu Diem tells him about the morning conversation, clearly and directly. About the house on the hill. About the intentions of the elderly woman and Mr. Thu. Toan listens quietly. Then he says he feels uncomfortable accepting too much help. If he stays, he wants to pay rent and repay later. Tu Diem nods. She understands. She feels hopeful when he says he will think about it and talk to the elderly woman. Rain taps steadily on the metal roof. They sit side by side. They do not speak much, but both know this is the first step. The rain continues to fall at the rural market. Not heavy, but steady and cold. A damp wind slips under the temporary roof and pulls the chill deeper into the air. Tu Diem and Toan sit close together, each quiet in their own way. Not because they have nothing to say, but because both need time to arrange their thoughts. In front of them, the dirt road leading out of the market has darkened with rain. Footprints overlap and blur as water fills the shallow ground. Customers have mostly left. Vendors begin packing up. The afternoon market moves toward its end, slower now, quieter, with only rain tapping against metal roofs. Tu Diem looks ahead. She knows Toan is thinking carefully. She does not turn to question him. She does not mention the house on the Longan hill again. She understands that every decision feels heavy for him right now. He is not thinking only about himself. He is thinking about everyone involved. So she chooses silence and gives him space. After a while, Toan speaks. His voice is low and steady. He says he understands why the elderly woman and Mr. Thu want him to move. Staying close to Tu Diem would make care easier. Medical visits would be more convenient. He does not deny this. He does not resist the idea. Then he speaks about what worries him most. He says he has already received too much help. Food, shelter, work. He is afraid of becoming used to relying on others. Afraid that one day he will not be able to stand on his own. He is also afraid of carrying a sense of debt, without knowing when or how he can repay it. Tu Diem turns to him and listens carefully. She does not interrupt. She does not react quickly. When he finishes, she responds slowly and clearly. She says no one sees him as a burden. No one is asking him to owe anything. Moving to the house on the Longan hill has only one purpose: to support recovery. Nothing more. She adds that if renting makes him feel more comfortable, she agrees completely. She does not need him to stay for free. What matters to her is that he stays nearby and gets care when needed. Money can be discussed later. When his health improves, his options will become clearer. Toan nods. He does not argue. He says he will talk to the elderly woman. He does not want to decide alone. She is the person who helped him when he had no memory and no direction. Her opinion matters deeply to him. Hearing this, Tu Diem feels calmer. She does not need an answer today. Serious consideration is enough. The rain begins to ease slightly. The baskets are empty. All the corn has been sold. Tu Diem packs the scale and folds the bags. Toan helps carry the basket. They leave the market as the sky darkens. Outside the roof, the wind grows stronger. The late afternoon cold arrives quickly and clearly. Tu Diem pulls her jacket tighter and slows down on the slippery road. Toan walks slightly on the outside, instinctively shielding her from the wind. Neither comments on it, but both notice. After a short distance, Tu Diem notices Toan shiver slightly. His jacket is thin. She looks at him, then ahead. Lights from the clothing stalls glow softly through the rain. The wet road reflects the yellow light. She speaks gently, as if the thought has just come to her. It is very cold. The elderly woman at home must be cold too. She suggests stopping to buy her a warm jacket. Toan listens. He does not answer right away. He looks toward the row of clothing stalls. He looks at jackets hanging close together. He looks at vendors packing up because of the rain. After a moment, he nods. He says buying a jacket for her makes sense. The weather has turned cold. Tu Diem smiles. Not a big smile, just a quiet, sincere one. She does not say anything else. They change direction and walk on. The rain continues lightly. Market lights shimmer on the wet ground. Water splashes softly under their steps. They walk side by side. No one rushes. No one talks about the house, money, or the distant future. Everything pauses here. In Tu Diem's mind, the image of the elderly woman is clear. An older person used to a simple life. Cold weather brings pain and stiffness easily. A warm jacket will not solve everything, but it is a concrete act of care. No words needed. She believes Toan understands this. And he does. For Toan, buying a jacket does not feel heavy. It does not feel like obligation or debt. It feels like something he wants to do, something right. That feeling calms him. They approach the clothing stalls. Small shops stand close together. Jackets hang in rows. Vendors wear thick coats and rub their hands to stay warm. Tu Diem stops at one stall. She looks through several jackets. She thinks about the elderly woman's size. Not too large, not too heavy. Warm and easy to wear. Toan stands beside her. He watches quietly. He does not rush her. He does not ask about prices. He simply looks, as if choosing together. They do not pick a jacket yet. They stand there for a moment, listening to the rain, feeling the wind, watching vendors close their stalls. The pace is slow and calm. Tu Diem thinks that if Toan agrees to move to the house on the Longan Hill, there will be many small moments like this. Shopping, choosing things, caring for the elderly woman, caring for each other. She does not think far ahead. She thinks only about the next step. Toan is thinking too. He is not sure what will happen. His past is still unclear. But in this moment, standing next to Tu Diem, about to buy a jacket for the elderly woman, he does not feel lost. The wind passes again. The rain has not fully stopped. Yellow light covers the two of them, standing side by side. Their story pauses here. No conclusion, no promises, just a small shared action waiting to happen.
Sau một ngày bán ngô dưới mưa lạnh ở chợ quê, Từ Diễn và Toàn ngồi lại bên nhau, đối diện với những suy nghĩ chưa nói thành lời. Toàn dần mở lòng, chia sẻ nỗi lo về việc nhận quá nhiều giúp đỡ và sợ trở thành gánh nặng. Từ Diễm không ép buộc, chỉ lặng lẽ giải thích rằng mọi sắp xếp đều vì sự hồi phục của anh. không phải vì ân nghĩa hay nợ nần. Khi rời chợ, cái lạnh buốt của buổi chiều khiến Từ Diễm nghĩ đến bà cụ ở nhà. Cô đề nghị cùng Toàn ghé mua một chiếc áo ấm cho bà. Sau một thoáng do dự, Toàn đồng ý. Quyết định nhỏ ấy không chỉ thể hiện sự quan tâm chân thành mà còn đánh dấu bước chuyển trong lòng Toàn, từ ngại ngần sang chủ động. Câu chuyện khép lại ở khoảnh khắc mở khi cả hai người cùng bước về phía sạp áo trong mưa lạnh.